So in the last session, we were working on the the different objects, right? And especially we have seen like how to populate data into your foundation objects and how to configure the place where we are going to configure your metadata framework foundation objects. So in continuation to that, we were working on the configuration workbook, right? So let me open that, guys. Just a second, guys. Uh, So we have seen how to customize your legal entity, the requirements around your legal entity business unit is going to work in the same fashion. And we have seen the division. And let's take the case of location, guys, because your legal entity business unit division has been migrated to MDF foundation objects. But whereas your location still a foundation objects that goes into your corporate data model. Okay, so how you are going to customize these kind of objects? Okay, and if you see the requirement here is they don't want to change the object name, they just want to go with the same location as the object name. But here you can see the field with the name, they want to make it as a required or a mandatory field. Okay, and description, they don't want to use it. You can see they mention it as no use, so we have to remove the description field. And location group, they don't want to use the location group as well. Okay, let me show you how this location is being populated right now.
Raghu, can I disturb you for a minute?
Yeah, Sunil.
Uh, I think what you're showing is basically the change request coming from the client side, or it is in the implementation part.
It's in the implementation.
Okay, so this is not the change request coming from the client.
No, that's it. These things
Okay,
are going to be done during the part. At a later point of time, you'll be you may get this kind of request, but not on the whole opportunity on the not on all the whole objects. It might be like one or two object changes. You'll be getting it at a later point of time as a enhancement request, Sunil.
okay.
Yeah,
Please carry on. Thank you.
yeah. Let me log into the system, guys. 1 second, guys. Just a second, guys. Just a
I think
second.
he's having technical difficulties.
1 second, guys. I just
Hello?
hello.
Yeah.
Now hold on for a minute, guys. Just a second.
Can you guys hear me?
Hey,
Or am
Samir.
I the only one who's facing the problem?
No, Samir. 1 second, Samir. I
Okay.
yeah. Okay. So coming back to your location. So these are the changes that we need to do, right? So your location, how your location is going to be populated as of today is, let me log in here.
I had a question. Not really a question, I wanted to understand something from you.
Yeah, yes, Samir.
So right now the workbook which you're using, we have downloaded it from the partners portal,
Hmm.
SAP partner portal. We are configuring it, right? Or is
Yeah.
it a client's uh, case study or is it a live case study or is it a client's workbook that you're showing us how to configure?
No,
I'm just a little
these
confused about this
workbook,
one.
these workbook are the requirements provided by the client. So these came from a client, Samir. And the other one that I showed you, right, yesterday, it was a blank one. That's the one that I loaded from the partner community. So this is the one, the blank one, right? You see here, this is the one which was loaded from the partner, which was downloaded from the partner community. You see all the requirements. They don't have any change requests as such. It is just a blank template.
Right, right, right. Right. So what we're trying to do here is that we are configuring a complete we're doing a one company full thing, right?
Yeah.
Great.
1 second.
Hey Raghu, good morning. Paresh over here.
Yeah, Paresh. Good morning, Paresh.
So, based on your discussion with you, Samir, what I understand is uh, when we go to client place, we gather all the requirements and map that requirement in this workbook, and then we start uploading or something like this. Is it like that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay. So we download the blank one from the partner portal, and then we fill it up based on our discussion with the client.
Yeah.
Gathering gathered by the. Then we make a change in this workbook and then upload it. The steps.
No, no. See, you gather the requirements, right? Based on the requirements that you gather, you are going to prepare this configuration workbook. So once you have this configuration workbook, right, updated, you will get the sign off from the client stating that these are the requirements that we captured and we are going to do these changes. So once you get the sign off from the client, right, then you are going to do the actual configuration based on what type of object it is. either in your instance or you will be doing the change in the data model. So if you are doing the change in the instance, yes, you are not going to upload or download anything. It's just using the configuration definition of your objects, you are going to do the changes. Whereas if you are going to do the change in the XML file, which we are going to do it in a moment, we will be uploading that. I will be downloading that from the provisioning system and we'll be uploading back to the provisioning system in order to verify the changes. Is that clear?
Okay, got it. Yeah, got it, got it.
Okay. So on the same lines, so I just logged into the instance, guys. So on my instance, let me go to the admin tools. Let me show you how the location, how you are going to create location records as of today, and I'll compare that standard behavior with this one, and then we'll go ahead and customize as per these requirements at the change requirements, guys. So the location records can be created from the manage, arc, pay and job structure. Oops. What happened to this?
Yes, yes, yes. Okay. Yeah, Raghu is back.
Hello,
Yeah.
Raghu?
Yeah.
Raghu, we lost you for a second.
Yeah. I have some problem with the audio connection, guys. Yeah. Sorry about that. It was back. Okay. So we want to see like how currently we can create a location record. I hope like everyone able to hear me, right? So in order to create a location record, we go to the manage organization pay and job structures. Select that, guys. Manage organization pay and job structures. So because still your location is the foundation object, the way we are going to configure your location, the foundation objects falls into your corporate data model, guys. So you have to understand how your corporate data model XML file looks like and what sort of configurations that we can do in the corporate data model XML file. That is the reason I was working on the location object here. So we are interested in creating a brand new location, and if you go here and search for you see location here. Select this location. And here you can see you have effective date, and let's say I want to create
Raghu, I have this confusion. I don't know. I haven't practiced it yet, but maybe there are certain objects which have been moved to MDF, and there are certain objects which are still with the corporate data model, right? So the objects which are not being migrated, are they done using an XML file, and the ones already moved are done through the instance.
Correct.
Please correct me if I'm wrong.
Correct.
Right. So as you said, right. Okay. So location has not been migrated yet, right?
Correct. That's what I'm mentioning, right? Your location is still a foundation object. It's not a, see, if it
So
is
if I have to make,
migrated, I'll mention that object as MDF foundation object, guys. That's the nomenclature even you use in your projects. See, earlier I mentioned the complete notes yesterday, right? See, earlier everything is the foundation object, the complete foundation objects comes along with your corporate data model, and there is only one object called as foundation objects. But in 1505, what they did is like they migrated a couple of these objects into MDF, right? Those things are called as MDF foundation objects. And these MDF foundation objects, I clearly mention every time that whatever that has been migrated as MDF foundation objects. Okay. And sometimes people will call them as, say, if it is we are referring to legal entity, they call it as like a go legal entity, guys. GO legal entity, or like say if we are referring to business unit, they refer it as the migrated ones are referred as GOBU business unit, like that. I don't refer it as GO, but I'll make sure that I'll refer them as MDF foundation objects. Okay, let's say I'm creating a location here, and location, I'm populating the data. Right now you can see there is a name field available here. Okay, and status, code, all these things are available, right? So when you compare this with your change request, you can see name is there. Okay, and description is there, location group is there. Okay, so out of this, right now you can see someone has already configured this thing. As you can, this is a description field. They want to remove this description field, and they want to make this name field as mandatory field. Right now you can see it's an optional field, right? I can go ahead and save my changes. I can create a new location. See, without populating name and description, I can go ahead and save or create a new location. But my requirement, or as per this client, what they are requesting is, you can see with respect to the name field, okay, they want to make it as a mandatory field. You can see the column I required, the mandatory property is set to S. So how we are going to set these things? So I'll show you. It should be done in your XML file. And the next thing is going to be description. You can see there is a description field, but the client don't want to use that. And the same thing with respect to the location group as well. You can see there is a location group here. They don't want to use this field. They don't want to show that field on the screen itself. Both the description and the location group field should be hidden from this screen. And at the same time, they want to make this name as mandatory field. And as this location is still a foundation object that comes in your corporate data model, we have to customize the corporate data model XML file as per these requirements, guys. So let me get the existing data model from my provisioning system, and I'll start doing the changes, guys. Okay.
so at the moment, like for the other objects yesterday, we could go ahead and change the settings, the display settings and everything from the system only. We'll do an through an XML file, right, and upload it back.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. Let me give me a second, guys. I'll get the latest data model, the current data model from our provisioning account. So I'm in the provisioning account. I go to this import export corporate data model. You can see, guys, import export corporate data model. Click on that. And let me export, guys. I don't want to import, right? I want to export the existing data model to my desktop, and then I'll start customizing that as per the requirements. Let it finish the download, guys.
Raghu, why are we downloading this?
You want to do the changes, right?
Okay, okay.
And just for your information, guys, the first uh, 5 sessions of your employee center, whatever I'm going to teach you, right? They are pretty important. Once you understand those things, rest of those things are cakewalk, guys. I know it's a little bit confusing, and especially from 1505, it is more confusing than it used to be. But if you understand the first 5 sessions, you are good enough to go ahead and do any sort of configuration, guys. Okay. So you can see, guys, this is your corporate data model. So we haven't opened this yet, right? So this is the first time we have opened this corporate data model. Couple of things that you need to understand, guys. Your corporate data model is going to have different objects, right? You see, each object is nothing but it has been mentioned as a HRIS element, guys. You see, when the moment I select on the left hand side, I selected a particular HRIS element. I can see I am navigating. Right now, you can say I'm in the geo zone. You see here, if I'm going to move to next one, you see here, I am going to job classification local. So you can see HRIS element pay component group. Okay, each HRIS element is nothing but an object, and what they are going to have is, let's say you can see right now. Let me go to location, guys. Okay, right now I'm referring to the location object, foundation object, and these HRIS element starts here, and you see here it is going to end at this point, guys. See here, it is ending here. Okay, so what it is having, one second, guys. So if I go down, you see here all these XML tags belongs to your location foundation object, guys. So what they're having inside is they have fields, guys. See each thing,
Raghu,
whatever.
I think your screen is closed. I can say it. It's not moving. Nothing is moving.
No. I'm just navigating through this XML file.
I'm looking at the notepad. I don't see the XML file.
I don't know, Raji.
Raju, we can see that. I think there is a problem at your end.
Rajiv, quickly can you log off and log in, Rajiv?
Yes, please.
Yeah. Otherwise, yeah,
Okay.
that's the best thing.
Got it.
Okay.
Yeah, I got it. Thank you.
Cool.
Sorry.
Okay.
Got it.
Yeah. You see all these things, whatever I'm navigating here, they are the fields of your location object. Okay. And if you closely look at each field, let me go back to the top. Hold on a minute, guys. Location. Okay. See here we are starting the location object, and we have the object name, and after that you can see there is a HRIS field. Nothing but that's the first field we are seeing inside the location object. Okay, and if you scroll a little bit down, you can see the first field, whatever we have seen, right? It is ending here, and you can see there is a one more field starting here, and it is ending here. And the same thing repeats for a couple of fields, including the standard fields and the custom fields provided by SuccessFactors for the location object, guys. So what you are going to see in these XML files, you see here, if you at a high level, you can see an object is nothing but a collection of different fields, right? Okay, and these fields are going to have, you can see this is the field we are referring to, a field by name code, and this field is having the properties of what is the maximum length that can accommodate, what is the technical idea of that particular field, the technical name of that particular field in the database, what is the visibility. Visibility is nothing but whether this field should be editable on the UI or on the instance, or it is only set as read only, or it should not be displayed at all on the screen. So the property visibility is going to carry 3 different values, guys. One second.
Raghu, is it possible you can explain in table view as well?
Yeah. See, right now you are in the HRIS field, and we are talking about your location object. You can see in the HRIS element location. Okay, we are in the HRIS field. We are referring to the HRIS field. There are total 79 fields. Okay, and if you talk about this code, this is the one that we are talking about, right? The first one, the properties associated with this field is the maximum length it can accommodate is 32 characters, and the technical ID, the field name in the database is external code. Visibility is set to both. So the property visibility can carry three different values, guys. The possible values with your visibility property is it can be set to both, which means that that field can be editable by people in the instance. Nothing but it's editable, and it can be none, which means that it is not going to be, it is going to be hidden. It is not at all displayed on the screen. And the other property is view only. I'm to say view. We use the keyboard, guys. We have to place over there. Nothing but it is read only. Okay, these are the three possible values that can go into your property visibility, guys. That particular field property. If you want to make this field as editable, we have to keep both. If you want to set it as view only, read only, we have to set it to view. And if you don't want to show it on the screen itself, we have to set it to none. Okay, required, we all know that whether if it is true, it is going to be a mandatory field. If it is set to false, it's an optional field. PII, if it is a sensitive information, we want to secure the data, we have to set it to true, otherwise no. And if you want to show if it is a trailing zero, say if it's 32 characters, and if you are filling only 10 characters, the other 22 characters needs to be showed as trailing zeros. We have to set it to true, guys. And the label.
So the visibility you talk about both, it can be both or maybe read only or write only.
Yeah, at any point of time, it takes one of these values. It goes with only one of these value. These are the possible ones, but it will go with only one of those things at any given point of time. And the label is nothing but you can see your label in different languages that you can maintain here in the XML file, guys. So coming back to the requirement, we have a change request from the location object. For the location object, the first thing is going to be the name field. The name field should be set as mandatory. So I'm going to set this name field as mandatory. I have to find the name field first, right? You can see this is the name field. I am inside the HRIS element location, guys. Okay, so the name field, I am referring to the name field here. So it should be set to mandatory. You can see here, this is the required attribute. I am setting it to true. So it's a case sensitive, guys. I see a couple of people sending me the data model with uppercase true. That doesn't work, guys. It's a case sensitive. Make it true, set it to true. And the next requirement is with respect to the description field. I don't want to show the description field on the screen. So let me navigate a little bit down. You see, this is the description field. I don't want to show this field on the screen. So I am going to change my visibility to none, which means that I'm not interested in showing this field on the screen. Okay. And the next requirement is your location group. Navigate to location group field, guys. This is status. This is start date. This is end date. Location group, you can see. And I remember someone in the first session or in yesterday's session, someone is asking like whether you can end date an entity. You can see this end date field is there. By default, the visibility is set to none, which means that you're not displaying it on the screen. But if you want to end date your records, you can bring this field to the screen and you can set the end date of that particular record, guys. Usually all the end dates of your objects the visibility is by default set to none, guys. And based on the client requirement, this will be set to either both or whatever it may be. Usually it will set to both. and you'll be controlling with the permissions to whether someone can edit that or not, and you can populate the end date of that particular record, guys.
So Raghu, tell me one thing. If okay, on the screen we don't have this end date, right?
Mm.
If we will set as none, but how the end date will be stored in the database then? Because we will require a data to be valid from suppose 1/1/2015 till 12/31/2015. Then we should have a 1 year data. So if we will set as none, most of the places you are telling in SuccessFactors they have told none. Then how are we date delimited things required? Because in my opinion it should be required. Like in SAP, end date is always like a basic primary field you have to fill up.
Yeah, 1 second. So usually in each object, if you see, there is a status field, active, inactive. If you don't want to use a particular record, you can set that to inactive. And if you want to follow the same process as SAP, right, this is the field which has been provided. But by default, the standard success factor doesn't open up this field. But if the client wants to use that particular field to be displayed on the screen, and if you want to make sure the end date is populated when you're going to create the record at a later point of time, you have to bring this field to both, okay, and you can populate the data into this end date field, Nitin. And even if you bring this field to both, right, you can change the status automatically based by writing a rule on the corresponding object, whatever we are talking about. We are not yet to the business rules engine, guys. I'm just talking about, you can write a rule stating that whenever the end date is today, go ahead and set the status of this record to inactive.
Okay.
Yeah.
So basically end date is basically in SuccessFactors end date is not a required field as per the like a primary field.
Correct. As per the standard functionality.
Okay, that's a major deviation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Raghu, I'm not getting you. Can you re-explain it here? It goes like a I'm not getting you clearly.
See, your end date field by default SuccessFactors doesn't display it on the screen. For any object, they don't display it on the screen, but they have a flexibility. They provided with the option. If clients wants to end date their records by showing the end date field on the object, you can go ahead and set this end date field visibility to both, which means that you want to display this field on the instance UI, and you want to populate the data into these records. So whenever you're creating a record, right, you want to populate the end date as well. That way you can end date the record how you used to do in SAP HCM. But standard SuccessFactors doesn't follow that fashion of creating records, Paresh.
Raghu, before you move to the next thing, I want to know, like yesterday we did a separate different kind of like adjusting the names and all. Today we are doing in this data model. So what is the difference between that and this?
See, yesterday's ones are goes with your MDF foundation objects, guys. These are just foundation objects.
Okay, this is plain foundation, that was MDF foundation.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Raghu.
Raghu, why are you not calling them generic objects? Because they are generally
No.
generic objects.
Don't call them a generic objects, guys. The naming they are following is MDF foundation objects. The moment you call them a generic object, you have a bunch of generic objects already available on your standard SuccessFactors. They want to clearly differentiate these ones, the migrated ones, right, with the MDF foundation objects.
Okay, so anything that is newly migrated ones, they are called MDF foundation.
MDF foundation object. Sometimes they go with it's for the GO. That object name, legal entity, or GO business unit. They call it like this also. Especially when you're talking about wrappers, right? I didn't talk about wrappers yet, but I'll talk about these wrappers as well. Definitely during that particular point of time, they call it as GO, guys. Don't get confused. It will be also called as GO, legal entity, GO business unit, GO division, GO department, like that. Only the You can see GO is nothing but your generic objects, but they don't call it as generic object legal entity. They just call it as GO. But this is
Okay.
the ideal name, guys. Your
So if it is
MDF.
geo, then
Yeah, if we talk about GO legal
sorry, Raghu,
entity,
if it is
it is nothing but we are referring to MDF foundation objects, the migrated foundation objects from your corporate data model to the generic objects metadata framework.
Okay, so the original ones were generic objects, which were already there. Okay.
Yeah, we don't call them as GO. We don't prefix them with GO. We all know that what are those things. We'll see that in a moment. If we talk about generic object as an example, the best thing is your position. We don't call them as GO position. We just call them as position. Hope I am clear, guys.
I'm lost somewhere, Raghu.
See, yesterday also I have given you notes, guys. Just refer it back, and if you still have any
Okay.
questions, right, we'll discuss on that, guys.
Okay, please go
Yeah.
ahead.
Okay, coming back to this, the location group. We don't want to show that location group. We don't want to use that location group on the screen. So let me go to the XML file, the location group. So this is the location group. I don't want to show that on the screen at all. So let's go and set this visible to none, which means that I'm not interested in displaying this field on the screen. Okay. And let me save these changes, guys. Let me save these changes with current date 2015 08.
Raghu,
Yes, Smita.
sorry to disturb you. Actually, I have to leave this session. My son is not well.
Okay.
So, is it possible to send the recording?
Yeah, I cannot guarantee you because I started recording. If I'm not able to convert right, I'll be helpless, Smita. But 99% is I will be able to convert that and give you the recording, Smita.
Just because he is not well.
No. Yeah, carry on. Yeah. Even if I'm not able to give you the recording right, I'll compensate you.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So we saved the XML file after doing these changes, right? Let's go ahead and upload that into your provisioning account, guys. Because we did the XML file changes on the local desktop, right? In order to verify those changes, you have to go ahead and import those changes into your provisioning account. Go to the provisioning account and go to the where did I save that? August and today's date. This is the data model, right? We saved it. Let me select that and click on submit. It will take a few seconds, guys.
Raghu, Samir, I have a bad internet connection. Can you please share the recording for today? I don't know. There's a voice lag, then I just got kicked out.
Yeah, same. Yeah.
You can share it, right?
Yeah, I'll do that, Samir.
Thank you.
It is uploading, guys. Because
So now we made changes for the location in the XML file, and now we are loading it back, right? Or did you do anything else also?
no, we just changed the location object and we are loading that into the provisioning system. Samir, you didn't miss anything.
Okay.
Let it load, guys. Once it loads, right, we'll log off from the instance and log in again. We have to do that to verify these changes. So okay, you see your corporate data model, the XML file has been loaded into your provisioning system, and let me go to your instance. Let me log off, guys. In order to verify that, let me log off from the instance.
So you have to upload this recording from the provisioning system, correct, Raghu?
Yeah,
The XML
the
file?
XML file, yes.
Okay.
Raghu, is the system on which we work for Employee Central usually slow? Because this one is
Yeah,
pretty slow,
it will be
unlike the
slow
other one we use.
when compared to the talent management system, right? It will be slow.
Yeah.
And in fact, like on the system, we have all the modules activated, right? It's again depends on like how many modules that you activated and how many number of records also in your system.
So Raghu, even in the full time, in the real time, even we need to log off and log in every time we upload something on XML, or
Yeah, in order to verify that immediately, right? You have to log off and log in, guys.
okay.
Or at least like, you have to do a browser refresh.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, yeah, okay. So let's go to the location object. We want to verify these changes, right? What are the changes that we did here for your location object? We want to verify those things. So let's go to the screen where we populate the location of record, and that is manage org, pay, and job structures. And we want to create a new location. Select this location. Now you can see there is no description field. It has been removed because that's our requirement, one of the requirement, and we want to make this name field as a mandatory field. Okay, see here, the name is a mandatory. There is no description and there is no location group. You see, there is no location group as well. So that is how you can utilize. That is how you can use this XML file to carry out the changes, guys. It's pretty simple, guys. You have to find the correct object, HRIS element. Any questions, guys?
Yeah, where is the end date, Raghu? We have activated the end date, but I cannot see that on the screen.
I don't know. One second. Did we set it to both?
Yeah, I think we did it for both because you want to show it on the screen as well as edit also.
I'll check that, Nitin. Just give me a second.
Raghu, how we will know this is foundation and the other one is MDF? How can we differentiate?
You refer to the note that I sent yesterday,
But for
guys.
the
Yesterday,
foundation, you will go into the instance.
yeah, that's the answer, Nitin.
Because for
Raghu,
the
if you delete the
foundation,
language pack, can we delete all these entries?
Yeah, we can delete it. That's not a big deal.
Okay.
It should come up, guys. 1 second. One second. S underscore. Let me check that, Nitin. Why it is not coming up here?
That's fine. Raghu, go on.
Yeah,
Don't
I'll check that. Yeah.
Okay, go on. That's fine.
So we did change and we verified these changes, right? Whatever we have seen here. So these are straight away on your location object. But if you see the second half of these requirements, you can see there are certain requirements around your location address format United States. Because when you are populating and creating a location, you see there is a business address as well. These fields are related to the business address. And if you notice, these fields are populating after we give this country here. Okay, which means that they are dependent on this country, whatever the value that we are going to select in this country, right? Based on that, these fields are being displayed here. Right now, you can see for United States, when I selected United States, I can see address line 1, address line 2, address line 3, city, county, state, province, and zip. But the client is requesting, you see here, use address line 1, address line 2, 3, city, and you don't want to show the county. Okay, and he don't want to show the county, and he want to display, okay, only the county field, guys. He don't want to show the county field in business address field of United States. So these fields, as they are dependent on the country, they come from the country specific data model, guys. And here it is country specific corporate data model. And how you are going to identify or how you are going to change this is, we are talking about this change is specific to United States. Refer to the country specific corporate data model, and in the country specific corporate data model you will be able to find a separate section for the United States. Let me get that. Your country specific corporate data model, this is the one. Let me put it in. Okay, if you open this data model, you see you have a separate section for country USA, and if you navigate to the second country, you can see there is a DEU, and you can see all this country, Australia. Okay, and you see BGR, like that. You have a separate sections for each country, and as we are referring to the United States, right, the change whatever we are referring here is United States, and we are interested in changing the fields of the business address. Okay, go to that particular section, or you can expand that country, and you see here, click on this HRIS element, refer to the HRIS element. This is job classification, and let me open this HRIS element. Okay, this is the address line 1. You see here the address line 1 and address line 2, address line 3, and city, county. We don't want to show this county for United States. We are in the United States country filter, and we don't want to show this. Let me set it to none. That's the only requirement, right, with respect to United States. That's the only change. Okay, and if you talk about France, you see here there's a France. We'll take it at France in a minute, guys. Let me load this country specific corporate data model into the system, and we'll verify this change, guys. One second, guys. Let me save this.
Raghu?
Yeah.
So in the real world, we upload all the data models at a time, or we do it one after the other as per required?
See, the standard ones we load at the same time. I mean to say one by one. But the changes, whatever the changes you are doing it right, it may go at a later point of time as always. There is no, you don't need to follow the sequence.
Okay.
So
Thank you.
yeah, this is your country specific corporate data model. One second, guys. Okay. So I saved these changes and it should go to your provisioning system. Let me log into the provisioning system. So in your provisioning system, you are interested in loading the country specific corporate data model, right? You see, this is the one, guys. Import export country specific XML for corporate data model. Select that option and we are interested in importing that, right? Go to this is the one, right? Country specific CSF, country specific corporate data model, and we added the data over there. Click on submit. Okay, your data model has been loaded into your provisioning system. Let me log into the instance here. So go to your administration tools and go to the location object. Your location object, manage org and page job structures. Okay, we are interested in creating the location. So let's say I'm interested in creating the, I don't want to even populate those fields because if I select the United States here, you see here, now when you selected the country as United States, you don't see a county field here because we set that particular field to be hidden from the United States business address. So you see, you can visualize, right? These changes, whatever that are fields dependent on the country, those things needs to be configured from your country specific corporate data model, guys. I hope it is clear, right? The reason why I took is because I want to explain you some changes how you are going to do in the country specific corporate data model. So any change, you see, yeah, Nitin.
Okay. Yeah, Raghu, quick question. I got you what you're saying. So basically for country specific corporate data model, what you're trying to say is like address is country specific, taxation is country specific. So those are the things which will be provided in country specific data model, right?
Correct.
Like which are like, you know, like which are very specific to the, otherwise anything general will go into the general corporate, like a normal corporate model.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. So anything, what is the other thing which you will generally have other than location in the country specific?
Location and your what do you call the not biographical information, your social security number and yeah, and all these address related, definitely they'll go into the country specific things, and basically like you will be able to see only the job classification or job function will go into your country specific things. I'm talking about specific to your corporate data model, guys. So those things will go to your country specific thing. You can find them here itself, guys. If you open the
Okay,
country
okay,
specific
yeah,
corporate data model,
yeah.
you can find them there itself. And I hope like you
Raghu,
are
what
able to.
about payroll?
Yeah, they comes under the payroll comes under your metadata framework, guys. They doesn't fall under your corporate data model.
Okay, okay.
So, like in SAP, we have schemas as well in payroll here?
No, we
no,
don't
no,
have
no.
schemas. We have only the business rules engine to achieve that functionality here, Sunil.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know, divert the topic. Go ahead.
Yeah.
And Raghu, if we need to add some more fields, can we do it? Or is any functionality we need to do? Or
Yeah, we can add a couple of fields as well. You can see by standard, your success factors provide a lot of custom fields, guys, which you can use it. Let's say if you navigate a little bit down, each object will have around, you see here, there are custom string fields. Is standard weekly hours. Yeah, you can see there is a custom string field, which is left to the customer to use it. And you can see the customer string 2. Let me navigate a little bit down. 3 customers, custom string 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You have a lot of fields, guys. Around there are 80 custom fields left out for each object. You have string type, right? At the same time, you have date type, and you can see date type, custom date type, one field, and custom number type. You can see each type at least you can see 20, guys. You have a lot of custom fields, guys, especially in your employee central. You have a lot, and even if you exhaust it, you can go back to your support team. They will be able to add those fields, guys. You'll be good enough with these fields, guys. Even if you are exhausted, right, you can go back to the support team. They will be able to add the custom fields for your company.
and Raghu, these fields they fall under what?
You can also do it.
MDF or they fall under something
No,
else?
it depends inside the object, right? We are talking about these fields inside the object. That is the reason each object has its own custom fields.
Okay.
Yeah, if you are talking about foundation object, that specific, like say location got its own like 60 or 80 custom fields. Let's say if you are talking about legal entity got its own custom fields, the generic object, right? You don't have any limitation over there. You can go ahead and create n number of custom fields.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Raghu, this custom field, instead of going to the support, can we do a cut copy?
No, you cannot do that.
Okay.
Yeah, the database needs to be adjusted, Sunil. So
Okay.
yeah, they do something on their back end. After that, they'll tell you that this is the field that has been added. They'll give the technical field ID, and with that we can go ahead and extend that.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Raghu, do you think, I mean, it's better to change in the source or better to change in the table view?
No, if you're comfortable with the source, right, do it in the source, guys. You don't need to go back to your because I don't know, like you'll have XML pad, but if you don't have the XML pad, right, you'll end up in trouble. So if you start doing in the source, right, you can do without even XML pad, you can do all the changes. Yeah. Okay. And what I recommend to you guys.
Raghu?
Yeah.
See, if you change the end date to both, what does the document says is it does not appear on the UI, but it is used only for reporting purpose. That's what the documentation says.
But the question
The
is like how.
If it says,
Yeah. Go ahead.
Because if it says visibility equals to both, okay, the effective dating, the field end date does not appear on the UI, but it is only used for reporting purpose. And it says that, for example, if we change an effective date field, such as pay grade or set date, when the change should be effective, so the system records as the end date in the background. But if you run a report on the pay grade in the time, the pay grade value that was valid in that time frame will be shown. It will be not shown in the UI.
Which documentation are you referring to?
This is the success factor documentation.
But how then you will
populate the value? That's the question.
Yeah, how will you then do it on the screen then if they will not be shown on the screen?
No.
It says that if you have to go to reporting in the sense you are
No,
maybe ad hoc
reporting is only for
reporting.
read the data, right? You're not going to update the data
Yeah.
over there. See, the question is
Right.
how we can populate the data. See, one thing I can say is like you can populate the data using the rules. Yeah.
No, but date is like, okay, I want to maintain a record from January 1st till December 31st.
No, let
I
me
have
look
to
into
enter
it.
that.
Yeah, don't get deviated, guys. I'll answer
Okay.
that question. Don't worry about that at this moment. I'll clarify you
Right,
that.
right.
Okay. Let's
Okay.
come back, guys. Mm. So we did these changes, right? Your location, United States. So what I recommend to you guys is go ahead and do all these changes, guys. So either you will be doing these changes on your instance using the metadata framework foundation objects, or you will be doing these changes in the XML file. If you are doing the changes in the XML file, send it back to me, guys. I already shared the 1508 data models with you. Send back the data models to me. I load that into your provisioning system. But if it is your metadata MDF foundation objects, do the changes in your instance itself, and you can verify that instantaneously in your instance itself. Okay. And you see here, we have seen this behavior, the country specific things related to your foundation objects. I mean to say the country specific corporate data model. But how you are going to address similar kind of requirement in your MDF foundation objects? If you go to your legal entity, yesterday we renamed it to company code, guys. Let me go navigate there. Legal entity, manage data. One second, let's say company code. Okay, and here you can see when we are referring to the company code, the moment you select, let's say if you are going to select the country, United States, you see here, the moment I selected United States, these fields are populating. So how these are populating now? It is not from the corporate data model, right? These are migrated foundation objects. So how these things are coming up? So these things are being displayed here with a concept of associations, guys. Okay, the concept behind these things, how they are coming up with your migrated foundation objects, or even in fact this business unit, why how it is being displayed here is it's a concept of associations. Let me talk about these country specific fields now, and then I'll move on to how you can associate one object to another object. In fact, this USA is being displayed as another object only, guys. But how these things are being displayed is if you go to this company code object definition, let me go there. Let me log in into a different browser so that I can compare, I can see both the screens at the same time. So you are in the administration tools, go to configure object definition. This is where we are going to change the properties of the migrated MDF foundation objects. Click on this configure object definitions, and we want to change the definition of the object, and that is company code. Click on that. First understand, guys, later we'll do the change. See, we have this object definition for the company code, and you see here there are a couple of associations here. Let me click on edit, guys. That will show the screen better. You see, at the end of after finishing all your fields, you have a section called as associations, and you see you have an association with the name to legal entity USA, and you have an association to name legal entity Russia, legal entity ESP France, Argentina, all these things. Okay, and if you click one of those things, click on this details, you see here you have a legal, this is the association name, and you have a one-to-one, the multiplicity, one-to-one or one-to-many is the multiplicity that is possible, guys, because one legal entity can be associated with a particular specific country legal entity, not one-to-many is not possible here. And the destination object, so you're keeping an association between a source object and a destination object, and the destination object here is legal entity USA. Okay, and this is an object, guys. This is a MDF foundation object. Okay, and that is the reason whatever the field that has been configured in this legal entity USA are going to be displayed automatically when you select the USA. But where is the filter? You see here, you are putting the labels here. You don't have a condition here. When United States is selected, this object should be called, or this object field should be displayed on the screen. No, there is no condition here, right? If you navigate a little bit down here on the screen, you see here, you have a condition as well. And the condition is based on the country of registration. This is the field from your foundation object legal entity or the company code. And if the country of registration dot code is USA, this is the country code. This is going to be called your destination object legal entity is going to be called. You're keeping a relationship here, but this relationship is valid when this condition is true. Okay, and this condition is bit set to true when you are going to select this country field on the company code as United States. Okay, and the same thing with all other associations, the country specific associations, whatever we see here, right? So we have seen for USA. Let me click on done. I'm not changing anything, guys. I'll show you how to create for one more thing here. And let's say, you see here.
Raghu, if I want to remove the association.
No, let me finish. Samir, let me finish this. I'll take your question, Samir. Let me finish this first. You see here, I have a association for legal entity Russia. It has a one-to-one relationship, and the destination object you should call is legal entity Russia. So where are these destination objects? We have so far we have seen the destination objects with the name legal entity USA and legal entity Russia, and we have reference to legal entity France below. So where are these? You can see the Russia is coming up when you select the country as RUS. RUS is the code, guys. If you remember, when you are importing the pick list, we have a code, right? That's the code, guys. Okay. So where are these other objects? We are referring to destination objects, legal entity USA, legal entity Russia, legal entity Germany, legal entity Spain, all these things. And even if you want to create a custom one, I'll create a custom one in a few minutes, guys. Okay. Where are these things? These are the objects, metadata, framework, foundation objects, which is nothing but the migrated ones. You can find all of them under the same thing, guys. If you go to object configure object definitions, hold on a minute, guys. Configure object definitions. One second. Legal entity. You see here legal entity USA, legal entity Russia, France, all these things. Let me click on USA. So this is the object definition. These are the fields that are going to be displayed over there based on the properties, whatever that has been set here, right? These are the fields that has been displayed over there. Let me see here. Let me click on one of those things which is being displayed over there, guys. Visibility editable. You can see legal entity type. This is the one that you can see. This is being displayed after we selected USA. This section, whatever the thing that I highlighted here, is being displayed after we select the country field as United States. So we are in the United States legal entity USA, and one of the fields is, you see here, the legal entity type, and the label you can see legal entity type, and it's a pick list. Forget about all other things at this moment. It's editable. Status is active. Okay. And if you move on to the Federal Reserve Bank ID. You can see editable. The field is label is Federal Reserve Bank ID. So if you go to this US, you can see Federal Reserve Bank ID. So all these things are coming from legal entity USA. Okay, and you have to keep a association between the source object and the destination object, guys. The country specific object. It's not the XML file. We have to do it in the objects. In the XML, we are doing it in the HRIS elements, right? From your corporate data model HRIS element to the corporate country specific corporate data model HRIS elements. But whereas when we talk about your MDF foundation objects, we need to keep an association between MDF foundation objects and the MDF country specific foundation objects. Okay, that is how you are going to keep an association, and you have filters here based on country code. Whereas in your corporate data model, the country specific corporate data model, you have a filter based on the country code. There also we have a filter, here also we have a filter, but the way we are going to keep that filter is, one, we are doing it on XML file, another one we are doing it in the configure object definitions. Okay, let's say I want to keep a relationship. Right now you can see, one second guys, not this one. Let's say when I'm going to select India as my country, let me see, you can see IND is the code, guys. You can see the code here itself. You see right now when I select the India as my country, I don't have a population here. I don't see any field specific to India being populated here, but say that is my requirement, where when I select the country India, there might be a reason that we don't have a country specific MDF foundation object for your company code India. That's the reason you don't see any object being pulled up here. Let's verify that one as well. You have a company code here, and let's say legal entity. We don't have legal entity India here, right? You can see here there is no legal entity India being created here, but say that is my requirement. I need to have an object called as legal entity India, and that should be called when I'm trying to create a new company code, and when I select the country as India, that object should be displayed on the company code screen. So how you are going to do that? How that is going to be, you have two parts, guys. One is you have to create a new object called as legal entity India, and that should be, you need to keep an association with your company code object, and we need to keep a condition, association condition, and the first thing is going to be you have to create a new object itself. So where you are going to create a new object, first thing you are going to create a new object under your configure object definitions. You can see here create new, and this is object definition, and we are interested in creating a new object with the name called as legal entity India. So let me go ahead and create that.
Now, is there no copy option? Like we can't we copy from the existing legal entity and then change some of the fields?
I don't think so. We can copy here. One second. Let me go to the object definition of legal entity USA. I don't see, we don't have cloning here, guys. But let me check that. Take an action. No, Nitin, I don't think so.
Okay.
No.
That's fine.
Okay. Even though if you can copy, the fields are going to be different, correct? Raghu?
Yeah, we have to change the fields also.
No, but we can delete the fields, right?
Yeah, we can edit the fields as long as we have the edit clone option, right? We can edit those fields or the properties, but that is not available, guys.
Okay. Okay,
yeah.
That's fine.
Okay. So let me.
Raghu, what is in advanced?
Pardon? No, that is a search option.
What is there in advanced?
That's a search option. You see here,
okay,
search only the active ones.
Okay.
Yeah, that is
Okay,
nothing
okay.
to do with the objects, guys. Okay, let me click on OK here.
Raghu, if you're using the third-party tool to upload the org structure,
Yeah.
and if we don't have this object definitions, I mean, will it create automatically, or
No, it won't
how's
create.
it going to work
It will
out?
error out. You need to have the
You'll
object
have to create
before.
the and then use the tool, correct?
Correct, Rajiv.
Okay.
Yeah.
Raghu, now you're saying create new. Can't this? I mean, we can do it through XML pad also. Am I right?
No. These are your metadata foundation objects, right? MDF foundation objects. We are creating a MDF foundation object.
Okay. So the
So
MDA foundation objects are not having. I mean, it cannot be done through the XML pad.
no. MDF foundation objects are not going to be available in your data models, which means that they are not available in your XMLs. And if you don't have XML, right, you will not be able to use your XML pad, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So I want to create a new custom object. That name it. Let me name it as custom underscore legal entity, and I'm going to suffix with the country. IND is our requirement right now. Okay. And effective dating, set it to S. Let me. Okay. And API visibility. If you want to expose this object to the external world, to the integration, you have to set whether it is not going to be visible to the integration at all, or it is going to be set as read-only or editable. It's basically this goes into your integration part, guys. Depending on your requirement, you can set it to either editable to the integration or not. Your OData API, based on those things, it goes, guys. And let it select to status. Don't worry about all this at this moment. Let me go to these fields. Okay, don't touch these fields, guys. The first three fields, they are the standard how the database is going to manage them. And the first field, let's say cust underscore say legal entity type, and I want to carry out with a string and 32 characters long, and the label that I want to display it on there is, you can see this is the label legal entity type. Okay, and I don't want to write any rules at this moment, guys. Don't talk. I'm not going to touch any of those things at this moment. Okay, let me go ahead and click on done. This is the one field that I created now. Let's say we want to create one more field. Okay, and go to this cust underscore.
So custom field should always start with cust underscore Raghu?
No, that's a best practice, guys. It need not be, but that's a best practice. You can easily identify as this is a custom field.
Oh, okay. Like in SAP, they will not allow unless you will start with Z programs. Like about, you have to write a field with Z.
No, here that is not a mandatory thing, but it's a best practice. Whenever we want to maintain the same things again, right? Coming back here, you can easily know, yes, these are the custom fields which are created in your project, or yeah, like that.
Got you. Okay, that's good. Okay,
yeah. Okay, and I don't want to keep any associations, or I don't want to go with any of those things at this moment, guys. This is just object definition. Okay, let me save these changes, guys.
So Raghu, you actually went ahead and created just an object for India, right?
Correct.
For the legal entity India.
Number of custom MDF.
You haven't done any association. You haven't done any condition.
Pardon?
You're just creating a legal entity for India, which has two custom fields. One is category and one was another one, right?
Correct.
There are no associations and there are no conditions so far.
Yeah. So no, we are going to keep the condition on the legal entity side, on the company code side. We are creating the, I can say, I don't even need to call it as a child, but we have a parent as a company code, and this child needs to be displayed when on the parent, if you select IND as the country, right, this should be displayed on the screen.
Oh, so you're actually going to create an object now. You will connect it with the company code.
1 second. What I did is like you have a company code, right? So when on the company code, if you select India, right, country as India, you need to display this object, the legal entity underscore int. So your condition will come here, and this goes onto the company code object, which we haven't started yet. We just created this thing as an independent thing now.
Will that be a condition or an association? Association,
Yeah,
right?
in the association, we have to keep this condition.
Okay.
Yeah. 1 second, guys. I have a limitation here. The number of custom generic objects reach 25. Let me go ahead and I cannot save this, guys. 1 second.
What are those two fields for, Raghu? One is the custom fields that you created?
The legal entity type and a category.
How will they be used? As in, why are they created?
No, you want to categorize your legal entities based on the type and category. 1 second, guys.
Okay.
Sorry. Legal entity underscore IND. Let's say you can, from parent, we are going to keep an association, right? .32 string, and the label that I'm interested in displaying is okay.
Raghu, when we are creating the custom object, this particular legal entity object, I see associations here, right?
I'll come back to you in a minute, Samir.
Okay.
Just give me a few minutes. I'll open up for the questions, Samir. Sorry about that, but let me finish this.
That's all right.
Click on category. Okay, and let me save this object, guys. Okay, so I created an object, guys, which means that I did this part, the one that I just highlighted here, right? I created an independent object called as a legal entity IND. Now I have to associate this object to the parent object. I should not call it as a parent, guys. I'm just, for our understanding, I'm calling it as a parent object company code. So how I'm going to do that is go to the object definition of your company code. This is the company code. So this is a company code, right? How you are going to keep an association is like you have to go to this association part, and let me edit this object definition. I'm going to create a custom association called as a custom underscore legal entity IND. This is the name, guys, association name. Don't worry about that. Click on this details, and the destination object here, you can see this should be your custom underscore, yeah, you can see the custom underscore legal entity IND. This is the one that we are interested in keeping an association, and we are talking multiplicity of 1 to 1, or we can go for 1 to many, but ideally here it is 1 to 1 is the ideal one. And your label, how it should display, legal entity IND, and we need to have a condition and code dot registration. So what you can do is the best thing is like copy from the other one, guys.
So how do we know, Raghu, in the field ID, what we need to put in the condition?
No, this is the one. You can copy it from the standard ones.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's the same thing for all
yeah,
of them?
it's because that's the field we are referring, right? The country code field we are referring. It's the same field we will be referring, but the data might be changing because of the selection in the country field. Sometimes if we select USA, the code will come as USA. If you select India, the code will come as IND. like that, and this is the value that we are changing. The field we are referring always the same field, but the value can change. And when the value is selected as IND, we have to call this destination object here.
Raghu, can you just show me once again? Scroll the page down and show me the just once again. The condition. Can you just explain the condition once again?
The condition is in the standard. We can see. Let me click on done. Let me go to the standard provided ones. You see, the condition here is country of registration code. That is this will not change. The field ID will not change. The technical field we are referring is the same thing. But when you select the country, when you are going to create a new company code, and when people select USA, this condition is going to be satisfied, right? This is set to true, and this will evaluate to true, and this destination object is going to be called on the screen.
Okay.
Okay. And when we go to our custom requirement, let me go to the details. So our condition is IND. When the country selected is IND, India, we need to call this destination object. Okay. Is that clear till this point, guys?
But in the other one, it didn't say USA, underscore USA. It just said the USA, and then in the object, I think it said custom or something else.
No, that's a standard one, right? USA is a standard one. See, when you talk about USA, you can see the destination object is coming as a legal entity because this is standard SuccessFactors provided object, right? But as we don't have any object for IND, that is the reason we went to the custom requirement. We created a custom object. This is a custom object. That's our requirement. We are doing configuration because standard is not accomplishing or it is not supporting our business model. Guys, is it still confusing, or you are able to get something out of it?
Raghu, quick question. I think it is okay. It is clear. Only thing is like these associations. How do we know that what kind of, right now? Okay, we have copied from the standard one. Are there any?
Yeah, I'll talk about associations probably in the next session. Complete associations will be completed. There are a lot of things we need to understand. What is the object names when we are going to work on the XML file? What are the objects we have to refer? All those things probably in the next session you will be able to clear about these associations, guys. That's the reason.
Yeah, basically what I've seen, what you are doing here is like, it is kind of a above statement. If country is India, then bring this destination object and attach to this.
That's what you are doing. Yeah, that's what pretty simple, guys. That's what if you just understand on the company code screen, when user selected country as IND, we want to call a custom object called as custom_legal entity _IND. That's what we are doing. So this object should be called only when it is IND selected as a country. That is the reason we are keeping it as IND. We don't want to call this object always.
Yeah, like in SAP we have Molga 10 for USA. As soon as Molga 10 is there, country code 10 is there, automatically the screen changes to Molga 10.
Exactly, the same kind of behavior, guys. And this is one of the sort of functionality in your association. We just started with associations, guys, and probably in the next session we'll be working completely on your associations end to end. What are the different ways to keep your association? Then it will be pretty much clear. But here we are doing an association between the company code object and a legal entity IND custom object. Let me click on done, and we are saving these changes that we did on the company code object here. Okay. Now go ahead and create a new company code, guys. Let's see how the system is going to behave if you are going to select if you're going to create a company code and the country is IND. So to create a new company code, go to manage data. And we want to create a new company code. Go ahead and select the company code here. Now you don't need to select all those things. Let's go ahead and select the country as IND. Now you can see this is the name we gave in the association, and these are the standard, guys. We will not be able to control that. You can see the legal entity code. Okay, this region and scope are not part of this legal entity. They are already there, and you can see this legal entity type, the custom field, legal entity category, the custom field. Okay, so this is how you're going. Let's say if your requirement is adding a couple of more fields, you can go ahead and add all those fields to this object cust underscore legal entity underscore IND. And
so Raghu, this custom field will be included in all the standard reports of SuccessFactors, like automatically these will be part of the reporting also, or like
no,
like in SAP that is a problem, right? Yeah, generally we add custom fields, but the standard reports will not reach some of those fields.
and here what we do is like reporting on the object. The moment you have access to the object in the reporting module, right, all the fields will be available under that particular report. Only thing like you have to drag and drop what fields you want to keep it on the report, what fields you want to hide from the report. You can configure that. Nothing code, nothing like that. It's just drag and drop. You're not going to write any code for that. Okay. Yeah. And if you remember in the association, if it's not too much, guys, I'll take session for another 30 minutes. Is that fine, guys? Hello?
Hello, Raghu.
Yeah.
Raghu?
Hello?
Yeah.
When can I expect this access to easy?
Today I'll do that, guys.
Okay.
Yeah, because we need to
yesterday I set up some of the people, and I'll be continuing doing that. And by today evening, you will receive the access. My time evening, guys, not other time zone. You'll receive the access, guys. Definitely, every one of you.
Raghu, you got my email?
Yeah, I got your email, Sunil.
So did you accept it?
No, I didn't find time to do that, Sunil. Sorry about that. Yeah, I didn't find time to do that. I'll do that.
The reason is I'm waiting for the system access.
No. I'll do that. I'll set up that, Sunil. In fact, I'll accept that or not, but I'll set up that, Sunil. Just give me time till today evening. I'll be sending out.
Tomorrow class?
No, tomorrow we don't have class, guys.
Oh, and Sunday?
Sunday also we don't have any session. Guys. Weekend we don't have session. We'll meet on Monday 8:45 p.m. EST.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Raghu, I can wait for the system access end of the day, India time, and with all the materials and everything, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Because once you give it, then I have to practice on that in the weekend.
Okay. Thanks. I'll send that, Sunil.
Raghu.
Thank you.
Raghu, at the provision side, only corporate data model and succession data model. If you just upload those two data models, is more than enough, am I right? No need to do the country-specific corporate data model, country-specific succession.
No, we have to do that, right? We have to do those things as well. They are also mandatory things.
I don't think so. It is a mandatory because what I hear from the documentation, if you have a global implementation.
No. It is even if it is not as a global implementation, say you are doing only for United States. Say United States fields are populating here when they are populating. When you select United States here, they are populating here, right? And we have seen they are coming from the corporate data model, country-specific corporate data model.
Yeah.
So if you don't have the country-specific corporate data model at all in your provisioning system, where from the system refers those fields, it will remain as a blank. You cannot capture the complete data. The alternate
But
solution for that is no. 1 second. Let me finish that.
okay.
The alternate solution for that is a tedious thing where all the fields which are mentioned under USA in your country specific corporate data model or country specific section data model can be pulled into your corporate data model itself or the section data model itself. But say tomorrow you are going for global, right now you are doing only for local, say only USA, but tomorrow you might be going for Canada or tomorrow you might be going for Germany or India. Then you have to clean up all the things that you did in your corporate data model, and you have to go to the standard success factors for country specific corporate data model, keep these changes over there. It's a lot of mess, Suresh.
Because I'm just going through the.
No. I know that, but that's one of the important things that we need to take care based on your the global implementation, or you are doing it for only for local. But what the best practice as per the implementation is like, go with your country specific guys. Even though you're not doing a global, right? Go with your country specific data models, but only use the country that you are interested. Say you are doing right now implementation only for USA. Remove the entries for other countries.
Okay.
Yeah, that way you can your implementation is smooth. Tomorrow also you can easily extend that for other countries.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Raghu.
Okay. Yeah.
Can you just go back to the provisioning system where we are uploading those XMLs?
Sure. 1 second. I have to log into
just
that.
a quick question.
Yeah. Okay. 1 second.
The question is basically what I saw is country specific corporate and country specific employee. There is also called uploading data model. What is that for?
Yeah, that is for your suction data model. That's a weird thing. If you notice, when I am talking about your talent management system, right? I might have mentioned that. Let me tell you. Okay. Yeah. Here, right? This is the one, right? The one that I just highlighted. See, how you can interpret that is we are under the section management, right? It's a weird explanation, guys, but this holds good. Which means that you are referring to import export section data model. So that is the reason you can see there is no other option here to import your section data model. If you exclude this import export data model, you don't have an option to import export the section data model. This is the option. Import export data model is nothing but import export section data model.
There's a next one is called for succession data model, right?
This is for your country specific section data model.
Okay, got you.
Yeah.
So they didn't rename it.
Yeah, in fact, they might have given it like the import export section data model, but their theory, what I heard is like, as this import export data model is under the section management, we need to refer this to as import export section data model. That doesn't hold good because there are a lot of other things here, but that is how we need to interpret, or that's the answer. It was provided by SuccessFactors, guys.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Raghu, just now you created a new object for the country India. Am I right?
Yeah.
That is called as a metadata framework.
Yeah, we created that object in the MDF metadata. That is called as a metadata framework custom object, which is going to be your MDF foundation object.
So, I mean, that is you're doing a configuration to, I mean, it's what does this documentation says? It says that to modify anything in SuccessFactor out of box, it says to modify out of box SuccessFactor application that has been built using MDF to fit your client's needs. Means it means to say that anything which is not there in the data model, which you are doing through metadata framework, that is called as out of box.
Yeah. See, and if you remember yesterday I specifically mentioned MDF is the platform where you can build your custom objects, which means that something that is not provided by your standard SuccessFactors, right? It should go into your MDF metadata framework. That's a platform. You can do a lot of those things. You have the rules engine. You can build your custom objects. You can build custom fields. All those things. That capability is provided by MDF.
Okay. So this also integrates with role-based permissions. Am I right?
No, yeah, anything. See, in fact, whether it is MDF or your corporate data model or your generic objects or your employment objects, personal object, these things, security is going to be controlled by your RBP, role-based permission framework.
Okay. Okay.
So how we are going to grant permissions is through RBP. So who can see which object, who can edit which particular object field is going to be controlled with your RBP.
Okay.
Everything in the system.
What is mean? Yeah, that is a security part which you say that for any of the MDF objects, based on the role-based permissions. Am I right?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay. What is this expose MDF object and data through common object OData REST API?
No, that's what we have seen, right? When we are talking, when we are creating an object, I told you API visibility.
Yes.
That's what the interface we want to either expose this object to the outside world, not to the users. I'm not talking about the users.
Okay.
Users is going to be controlled to the RBP. But if you want to export to the integration outside world, say if you are integrating your success factors with your SAP HCM using some integration tool. So that is when this comes into picture, whether the object, whatever we created, a custom object, should be exposed to the outside world or not. That's what we are going to control using with the visibility of the API, application programming interface visibility.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I understand now. It's very clear. So now what you did is you configured a object definition, okay, for a definition setup. Am I right?
Yes.
And based on that, you have created a object definition form. That is a new object definition, which is country India, which you are
correct. Legal entity India.
And you added for that you added a definition form, which says that all the definition, what are the fields which you have wanted to have, and you added a sign and you made it as a routing information. This
association
information can be association.
Yeah.
Now, association is a parent-child relationship. Am I right?
No, you cannot call it as a parent-child, guys.
But document says to add a parent-child relationship with objects, you have to go through add.
It's a relationship. It's not a parent-child. We cannot control parent-child relationship because, see, at one point of time, one object can be a parent. If say I want to go in a reverse way, I can do that. It need not. That's the reason I told you, right? Yeah, I cannot. I am not supposed to call it as a parent-child. Yeah, it's to me. However, I want to configure, which should be the source and destination is the appropriate one, guys. The source and the destination is the appropriate one. That's the one we have to use.
Okay. Thanks, Raghu.
Oh yeah. Okay, Suresh.
Raghu,
Suresh, can we have the record? Suresh, can we have the documentation also? Hello, Suresh.
I'll send that to you, Samir.
So Raghu, are we having the latest, all updated documentation, or
Srikanth, you don't have the latest 1508, Srikanth. I'll send that to you, Srikanth. I remember like some of you guys doesn't have 1508 document. I'll send that to everyone, guys.
All right, thank you.
Yeah. Okay.
Raghu, this is Nitin.
Raghu, are we done?
Yeah, we are done. I'm not going to take another 30 minutes. Yeah.
To office here.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Raghu, do you have PMGM, because I could not attend some of those? Do you have that daytime batch tomorrow?
Yes, tomorrow that batch we are starting compensation.
Yeah, I have missed total compensation, Raghu.
Oh yeah, I'll send you the timing. So timing is 4:30 p.m. Today. It is going to be 7 Eastern time. 7 a.m. Eastern time.
Raghu, just to ask you, can we also attend that? I mean, it's been long time. Can we just refresh that and attend that too? I mean, I know we already come.
Yeah, if you complete it right, I don't encourage, guys.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry about that, but I have to say no.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry about that, guys. Okay,
thanks,
guys.
Raghu.
Let me stop it here. Yeah, Nitin, just drop me an email if you're interested, right? I know like you didn't attend a PMGM competition. Just drop me an email. I'll send you the details, Nitin.
Thank you, Raghu.
Yeah. Okay, Nitin.
Raghu, take care of my email, Raghu.
Oh yeah, sure, Sunil.
What details you talking about, Raghu? The LMS? Sorry, my internet connection went down.
No. We are talking about, see, Nitin didn't attend most of the sessions in our PM, GM and compensation training sessions, Rajiv. So he's asking, he's interested in attending this weekend batch. There is a weekend batch going on and we'll be working on the compensation module today. We'll be starting with the compensation module today, Rajiv. So he asked me, did he attend those sessions? I said yes for that because he didn't attend those sessions, Rajiv. He didn't attend those sessions and even he didn't got the recorded sessions because he told that he's not attending complete PM, GM and compensation. Then I told him that you can attend the weekend session rather than giving the videos, right? I asked him
Got
to
you.
attend the weekend session. Yeah.
Please send me the LMS information, Raghu.
Oh, okay, Raju. Yeah, sure.
And can you send me the recording for this one? I mean, my internet went
No,
down.
I load that into the e-learning portal, Raju.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, you have access.
Thank
I
you.
remember, like you have access to that. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay, guys.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Raghu. Thanks,
Yeah.
Raghu.
Thanks, guys. Bye.